Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on one of the most powerful and maybe misunderstood ideas in modern history, the American dream. And we're going to do it using one of the greatest novels ever written as our map.
So let's just get right to it with the big question. Is this whole idea of the American dream, that anyone can achieve anything with enough grit, is it actually built on a fantasy? And our guide for this whole journey is F. Scott Fitzgerald's 1925 masterpiece, The Great Gatsby. It's a book that dives deep into wealth, love, and class to show us some pretty uncomfortable truths.
Now, to really get Gatsby, you first have to get his world. We need to step back in time to the glittering, wild, and maybe deceptive decade of the Roaring '20s.
Welcome to the Jazz Age. This was just an explosion of energy. After the absolute trauma of World War I, America was basically desperate to party and forget. And that feeling, it fueled a decade of insane economic growth, brand new tech, and a culture just completely obsessed with pleasure, jazz, and most of all, how things looked on the surface.
And what's so interesting is that the author, Fitzgerald, he wasn't just some outsider looking in. Oh no. He and his wife, Zelda, were basically the poster children for this era. He lived that fast-paced life, which meant he saw firsthand just how thrilling it all was, but also just how empty it could feel underneath all that shimmer. And right there, that's where we start to see the cracks in the perfect, glittering facade. We start to realize this dream is built on a really shaky foundation of money and class. So, at the center of all this is Jay Gatsby, and his version of the American dream is super specific. See, for him, it wasn't just about getting rich. No, his goal was way bigger. He wanted to become so wealthy, so powerful, that he could literally rewind time, rewrite his own past, and win back the one thing he thought would complete him: his lost love, Daisy.
But here's the big problem. The society of the 1920s had these rigid, invisible walls. You had three main tiers. At the very top, you've got the old money folks, like Tom and Daisy Buchanan. They were born into it, effortless wealth, power, the whole shebang. Then, you had the new money, like Gatsby. He made a fortune, but he was always seen as an outsider. And way down at the bottom, the working class, basically trapped by it all.
And when you put these two worlds side by side, wow, the difference is just staggering. You've got Tom Buchanan, born into power, totally careless, even destructive, but he's completely accepted. Then there's Gatsby, self-made, so hopeful it hurts, but he's always going to be on the outside looking in. The book makes it crystal clear no amount of money could ever buy him a real ticket into their club.
You know, this whole idea of illusion, it bleeds into love too. Gatsby is absolutely convinced he loves Daisy, but the book makes us ask this really tough question. Does he love her, or does he just love the idea of her, what she represents, status, perfection, the dream life? It's a hint that any relationship built on an illusion is pretty much doomed from the start. So what's the real cost of chasing this shiny illusion? Well, Fitzgerald uses these incredibly powerful symbols to show us the dark reality hiding just underneath all the parties and champagne.
Okay, the most famous one has to be the green light at the end of Daisy's dock. Gatsby just stares at it night after night. It's everything he wants, his dream, his past, his future with Daisy. It feels so close, but it's always across the bay, just out of reach. It is the perfect symbol for a dream you can feel but can never, ever grab.
And then, for a complete 180 from those glittering mansions, you have the Valley of Ashes. It's this bleak, industrial wasteland that you have to pass through. It's this huge symbol of all the moral and social decay that's hidden by all that wealth. It's the poverty, the forgotten people who pay the price for the rich to live their lavish lives. And looking down over this whole desolate place are the eyes of Dr. T.J. Eckelberg. They're on this old, fading billboard, just a giant pair of eyes and glasses. They seem to see everything, almost like the eyes of God, in a world where everyone's forgotten what's right and wrong. They really symbolize a society that's totally lost its moral compass to materialism. Okay, so you might be thinking, this all happened a century ago. What does this have to do with me, right now? Well, it turns out Fitzgerald's warnings weren't just for his time. They're like a mirror for our own. Just look at these parallels. It's kind of spooky. Fitzgerald warned about reckless wealth. Today we talk about staggering wealth inequality. He wrote about people desperately chasing status. Well, hello, we have an entire social media culture built around crafting the perfect online image. His critique of moral decline feels a lot like our modern obsession with success, no matter the cost. And that's really the heart of it, isn't it? We are all, in our own ways, chasing a green light. Whether it's creating that perfect Instagram life, or thinking that next promotion or that next big purchase is finally going to make us happy,
We're all chasing these dreams that maybe, just maybe, society told us we should want.
And this all leads us to the book's final, and honestly pretty brutal lesson. It's a warning that's been echoing for 100 years. A dream that's only built on money and stuff, without any real human values underneath, doesn't lead to happiness. It leads to loneliness, emptiness, and in the end, destruction.
So, I'll leave you with this. The novel leaves us with a really haunting question we gotta ask ourselves. Take a good, hard look at the dreams you're chasing. Are they really, truly yours? Or are they, like Gatsby's, just a reflection of the illusions our world is constantly selling us? The answer might be a little surprising.